Well, do we have another good call?
We have a couple more callers. So the next caller says, God and angels are labels we put on the creator that is all energy and vibration. Oh, before I pick her up, I just want to read this super chat from left, right, left. I wish to suggest YFNA merch store. Obviously, a line of Ethan's t-shirts with cats. That's a good idea. So I do have a merch store. It's not really that good, if I'm being honest. Like, I'm still learning how to use the site. The link is in the description. It's teespring.com/stores/YFNAtheist. I don't know. If anyone has any suggestions or knows how to help me with merch stuff, I'd be open to that because I would love to have some more cool merch, especially like these t-shirts. I would love to see more people in t-shirts like these. And
Yes.
I do even have one with a bunch of cats on it.
Hey, comment below, guys. There's a little spot underneath the video. You can just type out comments, say things like, "Here's a great suggestion for merch for you." Like, right? That'd be perfect. That's an easy
Yes,
way.
suggestions, and if people know how to
Mhm.
create like better merch stores or merchandise in general,
Yeah.
I could use the help. So yeah.
You know what
Anyways,
to do.
let's get our caller up here. Sherry, you are on with Secular Rarity and Ethan. How are you doing today?
Hi, it's Sherry. How are you?
Good. Yourself?
I'm okay. Time caller in. Should I be on speaker or does it matter?
No, don't be on speaker. Be on your handset. That's for the best audio quality, please.
Okay, I'm on handset.
Perfect. That's why you probably sound loud and clear. That was the only downfall of the first two callers, is they were kind of quiet, but this one is nice and loud, so we can hear you clearly. So
Cool.
what do you got for us?
Jennifer was very interesting. She started out really great with Yahweh and I am. Absolutely. So, but let's go with I am can mean I am is everything. It can be your soul, your everything. Okay, I believe God is a label. I've read the Bible, I traced, and it only gave me more questions than answers. So I kept digging and researching for 30 plus years, and I still have more questions than answers.
Same.
But I believe it's all about energy and vibration. We can call it a creator. There's an ultimate creator, but I believe that's the ultimate Zen, the ultimate white light of pure love, ecstasy, nothing, outside of a physical world. The Bible, I think, one, we're missing a lot of things out of the Bible that were written. I think it's 66 things. Books were taken from out of the Bible. The book of Enoch, Noah's grandfather, was taken out of the Bible. And that talks about all kinds of watchers. And, I'm a big Ancient Aliens fan. So I think we've mistaken
I love talking
some
aliens.
Yeah, me too. I'm big in, I've been studying the Anunnaki and the Sumerian gods for 3 years now. So
They are pretty cool.
I just think people need to understand it, believe in something higher than yourself. But I also believe that, okay, a certain person told me prayer is nagging. Okay. You say it once or twice, give it to the universe, have faith and belief, and manifest it back to yourself. Give out positive, you're going to get back positive. You want to throw out negative to the universe, you're going to get negative back. Does prayer
Sherry, can I
work?
ask a question?
Sure, but I think it's about the vibration.
Sherry, can I ask a question? Because I'm a little confused, and I want to make sure that we're on the same page. Are you saying that the description of God, Yahweh, Elohim, in the Bible is just really a broader label for energy that is also in this kind of karmic sense that kind of comes back to you if you do good things or bad things? Are you saying those are the same?
In a sense, absolutely. I believe that there is the highest of high, and we have to give it a label, whether it be Buddha, Allah, God, whatever. But it's the highest of high that we try to achieve, of a pure, the highest zen of vibration that you can be, which is the creator. I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah, I'm still a bit
but
confused. But go ahead,
okay,
Ethan.
so
I guess what I'm wondering is why why do you believe in God
Yeah.
or
well,
vibrations or
I don't
something
know that I
eternal?
believe in God. I believe in, I guess you would say it's the karmic thing. What you give out, you get back. I think it's about energy, all about energy.
So
I
what do
don't know
you
that we can finger God, say it's a God.
so what do you mean when you say energy? When I think of energy, like for instance, I tend to think of like, so like I made some tacos earlier. They were okay, I'll be honest. Like I didn't do as good as I thought I could have. But the stove, I click the button on the stove and then the stove gets like hot and it's red, and if I touch it, it hurts. Like that's electricity, that's energy, that's like particles moving past each other. Is that what you mean by energy?
Absolutely. It's okay. Well, let's take it a little bit higher. When you rub your
Sure.
feet on the carpet and you touch somebody and it's static thing, energy.
Don't touch me.
It's vibration. It's like music. You wouldn't hear music unless it was giving out a vibration.
So
You
it
get
sounds
that?
like you're
Yeah.
just kind of putting this vibration or energy label on God. Is that accurate?
Yes, but I guess if you want to get to the point, do I believe in a God? The more I've researched and studied, probably not. I believe that the universe gives back what you put out.
Okay, so
That's
the
interesting.
more you've studied, the less you believe in a God. So you're open to the possibility that there's no God.
Oh, absolutely. I'm open to anything. That's what you need to be, open-minded, and continue to research, and what works for you works for you. But I do believe there is an ultimate height somewhere you want to achieve. I believe, like
Okay.
people in the Bible, it says you have to go and answer to God. I don't believe we answer to God. I believe we answer to ourselves when we die. I think we see and reflect on the life we had here so we can do better
Okay, so
if we have to come back.
why do you think that?
Yeah.
Because I believe it's all lessons so that we can reach the ultimate zen of the highest of high, which we tend to call God. And that's where I'm stuck after all these years of
Sherry,
research
What
of
are you
is there one particular person that's the creator, or not person, but manifestation that is the ruler of all of this?
sure?
so
Are you saying
I
that
don't know.
we get a second chance, like we have another life, like reincarnate? It sounded like you said this life is more or less lessons so that we can achieve that highest of zen. Do we get to come back? Is that your understanding?
I believe we can if we'd like to, if we want to. Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
So what
Yeah,
about when you say we get into I have so many questions,
I
but
know.
one of them is when you say we get back what we put into it, what about all the people around the world that are suffering and will suffer or starve for the rest of their lives? Why are they getting the short end of the stick? Are they putting out bad vibrations and therefore they're suffering?
No. Oh, okay, let's get really deep into this, which I've been studying lately too, Robert Schwartz, in a book called Our Soul's Gift. And what it is that we pre-plan everything before we come to the physical earth. We pick our parents, we pick what life we're going to live, what
So
lessons we're going to go through.
if I may interject, so you do believe then, like, in a full-on, like, I guess you could say you probably believe in a soul and some type of consciousness. So right now, when I die, you think like my brain, my consciousness is going to live on. Is that correct?
I believe that our soul is made of energy, of DNA. Some part of our DNA and everything goes back out into the universe, and it's all out in the universe, and it's all mental telepathy out there, and it's just, oh gosh, I wish I could come up with the right words. I've always when I feel like I'm put on the spot, it doesn't come out.
You're doing great, Sherry. Don't worry.
What I'm wondering is, why do you believe all of this though? Like, what convinced you?
Well, years and years of research, and the Bible never made sense to me when I was put into organized religions. I kept asking priests well, how did Noah get all them animals on that ark? They never made sense to me. And so, and then when people would die, or suffering and kids being abused, I just wanted to know, why did these things happen? And over my 30 plus years in a family that we believe in all the metaphysical, astrology, psychology, demonology, or psychic abilities, I was told, we were taught these can happen in not organized religion. But I did read the Bible. I did go to other churches and check them out. They never made sense to me at all. So that's why I kept studying and getting back to where I am now in ancient Samaria.
Sherry, if I could try and maybe refocus what Ethan was just asking, and Ethan, please tell me if I'm wrong on this, brother. I think what he's no, you're doing great, by the way. I think what Ethan was kind of trying to get at was, not so much of what was the process that you went through. Like, okay, we looked at the Vedas, and the Vedas were wrong. We looked at, Buddhist scripture, they were wrong. I guess what he was asking, and what I'm asking too, is, is there something you can point us to that should make us believe in this energy understanding that you have, just like it made you believe?
Just years and years of advice from my family and other teachers on the same level, and with my belief system throughout the years, and asking questions of saying, okay, writing down, I would like these things, certain things in my life, putting them in a jar and asking the universe to deliver that to me. 6 months later, I go through the jar, see what's happened and what hasn't. And then what hasn't, I can also see in hindsight why that shouldn't have happened, because my path went this way. So I think it's just been years of trying this versus that to this. Can I tell you? Can I convince anybody or you guys? No. I think it takes faith.
Sherry, can I jump in for a second real quick?
Sure.
So have you ever heard the story of the greatest archer in all the land? He always hits a bullseye every single time, right? He kills it. There's nobody that can hit the target better than him. And one day a buddy of his comes up to him and he says, "You're the best archer in the land. How are you so good? How do you always get the center of the bullseye?" And the archer looks at him and says, "Well, I shoot first and draw the circle after." Do you
Ah,
Have you ever heard of that understanding that's called counting the hits and ignoring the misses? Are you familiar with that
no.
phrase? So
No,
this
but I think I get what you're saying.
yeah, it sounded to me like just right there, for instance, that there's a jar of different things that you've written down, whether they're wants or desires or just hopes or general good slash, potentially bad things that you've written down on pieces of paper. And it sounded like to me what you said there was, I can go back and look through all of these that are still in my jar. And when I see one that's come true, I can say, there it is. There's my bullseye. And when I look at the other ones, I can I can come to the understanding as to why I shouldn't have gotten that, or why my path diverged in such a way. And what that sounds like to me is drawing the circle for the bullseye after you've shot the arrow. Does that make sense?
I can understand what, yes, it
Yeah.
does. So I think that was a really bad example on my part because I did that when I was young. It's okay. Gosh, let me put this in.
Well, in the meantime, if
It just
oh,
goes
I'm sorry.
back to I believe everything is just lessons to the point of there are no. It's just lessons here. Otherwise, I mean, why would we be here? What is this purpose in being here if it's not to further something out after this life, this physical life?
Why
So
not?
I have one last question. Do you think faith is a reliable path to truth? Especially knowing that
No,
you don't.
no.
Then
I think you
why?
have to have faith and belief in what you want to attract it to you, going back to energy. You're going to attract what you put out. If you really want good things in your life, you have to put out positive vibration,
So
positive thinking,
I get
positive to get that back to you.
I get what I get part of what you're trying to say. To me, I think good people, uh, I don't know. I've noticed a difference in my life since I started being more concerned with others and less concerned in myself. I've noticed a difference. Do I think that's linked to any type of special energy? No, I just think that's, how life works out. If you're good to other people, they'll
Yeah.
be good to you.
Yeah.
But if faith is not a reliable path to truth, why are you using it to believe?
Good question.
Because I would rather, I think that having faith and a belief in something higher than ourselves is going to make you a better person, have a happier life, a more positive outcome in your life. And I would rather be right in having faith and some kind of belief than wrong on the other side. If I believe in nothing, then maybe I'm going to end up in what they so-called purgatory and go
So
nowhere.
don't you think that if you get to a God and you find out you're praying to the wrong God, don't you think you would be just as upset as if you weren't praying to him at
But
all?
I loved when that you brought that up to one of your earlier callers. I think okay, like I said before, those are just labels. Buddha, Allah, everything. It's just what they named the higher power, the higher creator, the I am. I think it's all the same when they're praying or, praying. Or talking to the universe or sending it out to the universe. Whatever they're doing, it's to really the same energy, the same creator, whatever you want to call it or label it as. I say it's the highest of energy.
Secular Rarity, do you have any last questions? Because we got to move on to this next caller in a moment. But if you want to wrap this up in a little bit, please do.
Yeah, I'll just end it off
No.
by saying, Sherry, thank you for calling us. As I've said every single time I've ever been on here with anybody that we've gotten a chance to talk to, I think there's great value in people coming from different sides and different perspectives like this show, and just kind of having friendly chats and listening to people and trying to push back respectfully. I think the idea that we need to believe in something higher, it scares me a little bit, to be honest, because like I said, I think with the first caller, I don't understand a lot of times why we would want to attribute the greatness that we ourselves have inside of us, and that all of us do as people, to something other than us. I understand why we would want to attribute the badness in the universe to something outside of us, because it makes us feel just a step away from it, and like, well, we couldn't have done anything anyways, and that goes down a whole route of
But
free will
I did
and stuff.
disagree with him on that, because I
Well-
believe that you have to believe in yourself and want these things for yourself and praise yourself before you praise anything else, though.
Well, again, I just
Because you have to do it within yourself before you can praise anybody else for it. It has
Sure.
to come from you first. The I am.
Well, Sherry, I think it was an absolutely wonderfully interesting conversation, and if you'd like, I mean, please, there's a time slot, baby, 7 p.m. Central Time, right here every Tuesday. Hang back with us and
Okay.
call in to some other people and get their thoughts on it too, if you want. We'd absolutely love it. So
Yeah, thank you, Sherry.
Definitely. I want to hear next week's about the demonology and other
Yeah.
things you're getting into.
and
That'll
maybe we'll
be
get some
really
alien
cool.
calls
That'll
too.
be very interesting.
Yeah, normally we actually get, we normally also get calls with about ghosts and aliens
Mhm.
too. It just so happens today all of our calls have been about God, but we usually have a pretty good variety. So Sherry, thank you for waiting
guess
on.
what? I'd rather go for the alien ones, so maybe I'll call in on that one.
That would be awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today, Sherry.
Yeah, thank you, and thanks for reaching out. Have a good night, you guys.
You too. I'll talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye. I have to admit I'm a bit more confused, but I do have some hope. I think that caller is traveling towards our direction.
Yeah, and I think there's when we get to the place where we're really comfortable with these very fuzzy understandings of claims that we're accepting, that we're basing our life on, it definitely does make me concerned. Like I said, I think it's great that God has been pushed back to smaller and smaller gaps. And what I mean by that is just the idea that we can just answer any question with energy or spirits or supernatural. I'm glad to see the ground that they hold receding. I really am.
Right.
But I don't think we have to. I don't even think we can. I don't think we can force people into that space, right? The only way to do it is just to have conversations and
having these conversations as often as possible, which I'm going to keep doing. I've also, what I wanted to start doing is, because there are people who reach out to me that want to call in, but this time slot doesn't work for them.
Yeah.
I'd like to set up like a secondary time slot and maybe get a couple hosts together, and then we can do some pre-recordings of like individual calls, and then we can air them on the perspective or just post them at a later time. So
cool.
I really got to put that together, because it's a shame there is a good amount of people that we've missed out on simply because of this time slot.
I'm honestly just surprised that you're volunteering yourself for more work, but
You know me.
that's you, buddy.
Dude, I want this channel to be built into a full-on network one day, and that means I got to put in the work. In fact, I've slowed down a little bit in the past couple months, only because I'm trying to pace myself accordingly.
Right.
Because when I first started this, I was like, shows. This is before you knew me, Secular Rarity. There was times I was doing shows literally every day, like 2 weeks straight.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I was
Man.
just nonstop
Seriously.
show.
That's a lot.
I was even hosting comedy shows I got some local comedians to get together during the pandemic, and we would virtual stream, comedy shows, and we'd play games. And I did so much stuff, and now I've kind of learned the things I want to focus the most on. The only thing I've been lacking in, which I miss doing, is interviews. I want to get back into those. I just want to find the right people to interview. Like yesterday, I got to sit down with Alice Gretchen. If you haven't seen that yet, I know people highly recommend their own content, but I am specifically highly recommending this episode.
Yeah.
It was really one of my favorite interviews. We talked mystical experiences, psychedelics, pizza, sex. We covered so many different topics, and Alice is a brilliant actress, and hopefully we'll get to see her on YFNA again someday.
Yeah, it was a truly awesome episode. And Ethan, if I could just say this real quick, you don't have to bear this burden alone. There are people out there watching this show right now, and people out there that will watch this show in the future, and they know what to do. They know there's a like button down there that they should be pressing. They know there is a bell that they should be clicking for notifications, and they know how to share these videos. And I don't have faith in faith, but I have faith right now, man. Y'all are going to do this.
You have reasonable confidence.
Exactly. I have reasonable confidence because I know some of those people in the chat, and they are great people that are going to do all of those things. And that's it. That's just the way it's going to be. We know that it's going to happen, man. So, and definitely y'all need to go see the interview from yesterday. Alice is hilarious.
Yeah, she is. Before we get to our last call, I would like to thank our patrons: Cindy Plaza, Left Right Left, Kenneth Leonard, Skye, JumpandShoot, Oz, Secular Rarity, Philip Leitch, Kaitlyn Beyond, Toast, Richard Gilliver, Sunset Sarge, Ameet, Mathew, Ray Sylvester, and Kyle Brewer. Thank you all for your patronage. If you want to support the show, because yes, doing these shows does cost money, especially running the phone lines. It gets expensive. So consider becoming a patron for just $1 a month. Link is in the description. Also, if you can't become a patron, no problem. Share this video. Believe it or not, every viewer we get helps. We need to find more callers. We need to find more viewers. I want to grow this channel. So if you can't become a patron, share it. It really does make a difference. I know recently, I don't want to say this person's name wrong. So here, I'll just put their comment on screen. I'm sorry. I don't know how to say your name. It might be Faya or Faya, but they have recently shared the video, and we got a bunch of people back from it. So please, sharing definitely makes a difference. Kenneth Leonard, thank you for the $5 super chat. Secular Rarity's eyebrows deserve their own channel. Yes, they do.
You're right. They have a mind of their own. It's the energy, I think. I don't know. I'm not positive.
And for those that don't know, we do an after show in Discord. So when the perspective ends, go to the YFNA Discord. We all, ourselves, the mods, we got in a group chat. We talk. You can ask us any questions and chat with us.